Welcome to Your Best Kept Secret to Success. I'm Prema, and this is where resonance replaces readiness and your frequency leads the way. Take a breath with me as we open this space together. Let your body soften just enough to receive what's yours in this moment. There's no need to chase insight, only to remember the truth that's been waiting to land. And today, the truth might feel a little lighter, a little more spacious, and a little more joyful. We've walked together through the deeper gates, the intense ones, the ones that ask us to dissolve and rewire and see what couldn't be seen before. But today, something else is here. Something that feels like breath, like return. This episode is a remembrance that joy is not a detour on your path. It is the path. Not the kind of joy that's manufactured, performed, but the kind that arises unprovoked as a signpost from your soul that you are on time. We're going to explore that. The precision of joy, the power of ease, the soul technology that awakens when you let yourself receive what's already true. So settle in and let's begin. If you've never taken the Sacred Wealth Archetype Quiz, it's a beautiful place to start. You'll discover your unique Sacred Wealth Code, which holds the key to aligned prosperity. You'll find the link with the show notes. We'll do a short planetary energy update for Vedic astrology, and we'll also do later in the episode a short oracle card reading and an integration practice to make sure everything lands just where it's supposed to for you. We're just a few days beyond the total lunar eclipse in Aquarius in Vedic astrology, and this week opens a brief but powerful integration window before the solar eclipse on the 21st. This is not a passive pause. We're in the eclipse corridor, and it can be a very transformational, and yes, it can be very transformational, but it can feel really transitional, which is not easy to know maybe where we are in certain areas of life. This is a recalibration. Aquarius cleared illusions around frequency, trust, and that was with the magician, the north node of the moon, which created the lunar eclipse. And now, Leo prepares to rewire the heart field. We have the mystic, the south node of the moon, in Leo. And the eclipse we have coming up is a bit of an out of sign eclipse. I'll explain that in just a moment. In this window, joy becomes a diagnostic. Where there is joy, there's alignment. And where there is grasping, something is misattuned. So as we move forward toward the solar eclipse in Virgo on September 21st, this is a partial eclipse. The mystic, the south node of the moon, is actually in Leo, and this eclipse will be the final eclipse that we have in Virgo. It's called an out of sign eclipse. And The frequency of joy may feel paradoxical, but joy is not denial. It's sacred. It's sacred confirmation. And this eclipse is not a portal to do more. It's a holy invitation to see clearly what has been quietly costing you in time, energy, or devotion. Virgo rules healing, refinement, and sacred service. But its shadow side clings to control, overfunctioning, self-sacrifice disguised as duty. I'm Virgo ascendant, I know this well. And during this eclipse corridor, you are not meant to power through. Please hear me. You are not meant to power through. You're meant to pause, listen, reattune. There's much that's shifting in and much that's shifting out in this in-between time. And the joy you feel isn't a distraction at all. It's a signal of what's real. The eclipse light doesn't reveal what you're expecting. It reveals what's been hiding in plain sight. Eclipses bring up the unexpected. So with this eclipse, with the sun and the moon conjoining in Virgo, they do so opposite Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Saturn's our great organizer. And it's illuminating where sacred service has become distorted by obligation. And this is a time of purification, not perfection, not performance. It's a time of realignment. So, what is quietly depleting you, even if it looks virtuous? Yes, tell yourself the truth. And what are you ready to stop offering your life force to? Let joy become your somatic signal of coherence. And let this episode be your checkpoint. Let the eclipse show you where your true wealth begins again. And if you're curious about your own Vedic astrology chart or want a sacred wealth code reading to unlock your personal blueprint, I offer both. All the details are with the show notes. So what if joy is the technology? Let's enter the space of joy, not the fleeting high, not the bypassing grin, but joy as a structural intelligence, a technology of truth. So many of us have been taught that joy is indulgent, that it's irresponsible or naive, or out of place when the world is in chaos. But what if joy is actually a mirror, a precise, sacred indicator of when your soul is in alignment? Let's open this together. Joy isn't indulgence. It's a structural mirror for soul truth. Joy isn't something we earn. It's something that remembers us. It shows up in stillness, or sometimes right after the intensity as a gentle yes. Not loud, not performative, but unmistakable. It can catch you by surprise. This kind of moment that bypasses the mind, yes, this is joy. A simple yes to something you didn't plan for, and yet in that moment it felt clear, aligned, and unmistakably right. It might not be a grand life decision. It might be something quiet, a conversation you didn't expect to have. Those are my favorite. A detour you said yes to while traveling. I have an agreement with Michael that when we leave on a trip, once we step out that door, it's all an adventure. So there are no wrong turns. There are no detours. It's all part of the adventure, which has brought a lot more joy along the way. Maybe it's a new client, friend, or opportunity that came in sideways, not from the path you were focusing on. Something unexpected. Maybe it's at a moment where you allowed yourself to rest, to play, or be nourished, and something beautiful unfolded there. I used to always say, I attract more wealth. I create more wealth. I am more wealthy when I go on vacation. But now I've brought that into just a principle for the way I live my life. The key is you didn't overanalyze it. You felt the yes in your body, and joy, levity, or surprise followed, even if it wasn't logical. Now, if you've walked through a season of grief, of burnout, of identity shifts, you may have found that joy feels strange when it returns. You may question it. You brace. You wonder, am I allowed to feel this? Yes. Yes, you are. Joy is the soul recognition. And let this be your reminder. Joy is not a distraction from your truth. It's a signal that you have touched it. Joy is truth. This morning, as I was walking on the beach, tuning in to this episode, knowing I'd record it today, I found a heart-shaped rock lying right in front of me. Now, I have found many over the years. There's many scattered on my property. But this one came in the exact moment I was asking, is this it? Is this what wants to come through today? And then there it was. A heart, a quiet yes, not a loud sign or a dramatic opening, just a moment of joy. I smiled and was just grateful for the clarity and felt the resonance. And I could have stepped right over it, but something in me recognized it. And that recognition, that joy, it wasn't conceptual. It was somatic, and it was immediate. And this is what I mean when I say joy is soul recognition. It's often quiet, but when it lands, it just reorganizes everything inside you. So often we're taught that real transformation has to be hard. We've been conditioned to believe that transformation must look like rupture. That in order for change to be real, it has to be dramatic, painful. And sure, sometimes it is. But what if ease is now the sharper blade? What if lightness is the thing that cuts through illusion more efficiently than effort ever could? Joy can cut through illusion with surprising precision. Laughter, beauty, breath, they're not detours, they're revelations. And when they come, you don't need to question them. You can let them realign you. Learn to trust the moments of laughter, of levity, or beauty as proof of energetic update. Joy is not conceptual. It's somatic. The body always knows. The moment the nervous system relaxes, the moment your breath deepens, your shoulders drop, your belly softens, the whole field reorganizes. Joy is like a tuning fork, and your body is the resonator. You can feel the truth of a yes. You can feel when something is forcing you out of your own coherence. You know. So the invitation is this: start letting joy be your guide again. Joy is a soul technology in the body. It's not silly. It's not selfish. It's sacred technology. Let's name this clearly. Wealth is not only built in intensity, it's not earned through self-sacrifice or depletion. Sometimes the most aligned forms of wealth are grown in peace. True wealth, the kind that honors your soul blueprint, comes when you rest back into your own signal and when you stop efforting, when you stop convincing. This is what Sacred Wealth Mastery teaches: to let the light hold your inner sacred architecture, to let joy speak and to trust what it's telling you. Because when you do, the people arrive. The opportunities open, the resources meet you, and you no longer have to chase alignment. You're living it. Honestly, some of the most aligned invitations in my world have come not when I was broadcasting or efforting, but when I was resting or laughing or watering my garden. This isn't just a nice idea, it's what's real right now. So, what is joy pointing you toward that you haven't trusted yet? Let yourself breathe into that. No forcing, just awareness. What is joy pointing you toward that you haven't trusted yet? Because what if joy isn't the reward, but the technology itself? If this field of reverence speaks something deep within you, you may already be part of Sacred Wealth Mastery. This is not a program, it's a field, a remembrance. And you'll know if you're meant to enter, and the invitation is open. We'll do an oracle card reading from the Sacred Wealth Mastery, the Sacred Wealth Code oracle deck, which we do use in Sacred Wealth Mastery. And if something's come up for you around this topic of joy as a technology, not forcing, not pushing, there's so much ease that's available when we open to it. You can hold that, and one of the archetypes may have the answer for you. You can sit back and just receive what comes through with this archetype reading. All right, I'm going to pull a couple cards from this deck here. All right, so the first card that comes in is the Muse. And the Muse is one of Venus's archetypes. And this mantra here is I inspire and I'm inspired. The Muse is representational of joy, absolutely, of beauty, of insight, of playfulness. And the joy reminder here that the Muse is walking into the room here is that joy often is a whisper. Joy is soul level. So it's often a whisper. It's often a surprise. It's often speaking behind the scenes. Just that, the thing that inspires you, whether it's beauty in some way, something you read, something someone says to you, something you do with your body. Yeah, trust that. You following that path of joy, there's the Muses here to bring a lot of inspiration along with that. And it's okay to follow inspiration. It's more than okay than pushing, striving, or working too hard. And the other card that came in is the Connector. And the Connector is also one of Venus's cards. Now, Venus does love play and luxury and joy. And I think it's beautiful that these cards have come forward. These archetypes have come forward. And this mantra here is we are all one. Now, the Connector is reminding us that joy it's available absolutely on our own, but it's also available with others. How many times do you experience something and like the first thing that you think is, oh, I wish so-and-so was here with me, or it always happens to me when I'm enjoying something, music, whatever it might be. We want to share. We can't help but want to share. We want to spread the love when it comes to joy. So the more you're open, the Connector wants to remind you to the joy that's available around you and that wants to be shared with others. The more you're just opening the channel, you're opening the gate for more to come in. And with joy, there's always ease and there's always flow. Remember, and the connector's coming in strong, reminding me of this, we don't have to work, so to speak, for joy. It's not something you earn. And it's always available. Let's tune in with our integration practice. It's important to come into embodiment. You don't need more information. You need it to seep all the way down through you, all the way down into your roots, so you can flourish from there. If you can, close your eyes. Put your hand on your heart. Become aware of your breath. Just remembering, first of all, that joy is safe. Breathe that in. Joy is safe. And joy is sacred. Breathe that in. Breathe it through. And joy is signal. You can imagine just breathing that in through the crown of your head and exhaling it down through your root. Your heart knows the way to joy, but your heart is also your center of truth. And we'll let these soul wisdom questions drop into your heart. So tune in with, where has joy been trying to find me lately? Where has joy been trying to find me lately? And trust whatever comes up first. Awareness precedes change. What beliefs still link joy to guilt or frivolity? What beliefs still link joy to guilt or frivolity? You can let them go on and exhale. And what might open if you trust pleasure as your alignment tool? What might open if you trust pleasure as your alignment tool? Make a note of what comes up for you. Don't judge it. Truth is spoken. Truth has walked into the room. And there's much that aligns and realigns from there. If you're longing to live inside a field that holds you on a daily remembrance of your own soul's design, Sacred Wealth Mastery is that living temple. It's not a program. It's a field. It's a resonance. And if you feel the gate open for you, you'll know. If you'd like a personal reading with me, guidance to align with your truest nature, a Sacred Wealth Code reading or Soul Blueprint reading is a powerful way to see your unique gifts and the timing written in your chart. And if you're simply ready to receive support, reset in a sacred way, the Sacred Healing Circle is here as part of this work. It's on every full moon. It's a beautiful place to restore coherence and align with your own inner architecture. It's part of Sacred Wolf Mastery, but it also is a subscription on its own. All the links are in the show notes. And as always, I invite you to subscribe, to follow, and to share this podcast with someone who might need it today. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave a review. Your words help this message reach others. And on Spotify, if you can simply like this episode or leave me a comment, that would be so helpful. Thank you for being here. And remember, your soul already carries the blueprint for your wealth, for your purpose. And when you live in alignment with that truth, the right people, opportunities, and resources arrive without force, in perfect timing and in perfect sequence. So much love to you.